What is up, survivors? We are back with another mod review from Monday. This time around we are going over the extra quality of life items mod. So this is a fairly small mod, but super useful on just about anything, really. Makes a lot of your day-to-day stuff a little bit easier, a lot of little frustrating things that you might have run into along the way, a lot easier to deal with. And we're gonna go over all that. So I got a bunch of stuff hotbarred down here, and we're gonna go over that stuff too, but let's go back up in here. Can I show you exactly what sort of crafting station items that we're dealing with? This mod's gonna add crafting stations and a lot of different items that do a lot of different things, but we're gonna go over them all. And if you guys watched the last build video, then you already know where this is at. So I just beamed myself right back in here and put some stuff on the roof to kind of go over it. So this is a cool thing that we can talk about right off the break. You get the ability to craft seeds to actually plant mushrooms. So you can plant the 4 different kinds of mushrooms that you find in the aberration area. So all 4 of those. You can plant rare mushrooms, you can plant rare flowers, you can plant cactus, and then you get this cool plant Z variant that actually heals you, and it still spits out the little seeds periodically too. So it acts just like the wild seed, the plant Z seed does in aberration. So you get those cool little things. You'll be able to make them all, and you just make the seeds, you throw them in a crowd plot, irrigate them, fertilize them just like you normally would. This is the item crafter, which looks pretty much this. I mean, think this looks like we've probably seen this in a couple different places, but anyway, this is where you're actually going to craft everything at, and there's a whole long list of things in here, all sorts of different potions and food and all sorts of good stuff. For instance, the shockproof elixir that we're looking at right now makes you immune to electricity-based stuns, so things like eels and things like that are perfect. This actually delicious cake one is one that I really thought I wanted to try out. This one actually gives you back a little bit of that lost taming effectiveness. So like if you shoot a creature by accident, you can actually feed it this, and the taming effectiveness will still go back up. The courage tonic removes the fear from the U-type rants. That one's a pretty cool one. This one prevents bleeding attacks, so you can use this and ahead of time, depending on what you're going after, to fight something like aloes or even a giga that gives you that Nash gnarly bleeding effect. You actually get medical gauze to treat those injuries as well. We also have things like the fire extinguisher to get rid of those fire effects too. So what else we got? Miscellaneous thing. This is actually pretty cool. The synthetic air bladder basically makes it so that you can make you can still make delivery crates without having to have the gas bag, so you don't need the gas bag bladder. So these are kind of like a replacement for that. Recycled paper, it looks like you can just throw notes in here or old recipes, and you get a small amount of XP for getting rid of them. The fishing lure, this is something I was just testing out a little bit ago. So this actually, you attach this to a fishing hook, and as long as you have a fish basket in your inventory when you fish, it'll actually tame the fish and throw it in the fish basket instead of just losing it. Actually, it looks like this one spoils in a couple minutes. So let me teleport my happy butt down here into my gator farm. But yeah, as long as you have a fish basket in here, you just get it. And there he is. Little piranha. It's hanging out. Bye, dude. But yeah, so you can actually fish that way. Yeah, so these lures work pretty much like they normally, like Stap or anything normally would. You just tag it on the fishing rod and then you just throw it like normal. But then you also have the nets from like Genesis that you can use as well. The seeds, all of the seeds that we talked about are craftable in here. You just need a few of whatever it is that you're trying to make ahead of time, and you can make plots. This, I really like making the farming for a lot of this stuff is super easier. These darts, these are some interesting darts. Let's say you found, it was an event going on the server, and you found an awesome colored whatever creature like a Dionychus or a rock drake or even a wyvern, whatever the case is, a crystal wyvern. If you find the really cool color scheme, let's say you have it, you can shoot it and it will lay that egg at the natural spot. So you're pretty much guaranteed, if you see one in the wild, you're guaranteed to get that egg. These are awesome because it eliminates a lot of the frustration of, I found this really cool wild creature that spawns wild fertilized eggs, but I got to sit here and try to play, can't kill it, try to kill all the other creatures that are nearby and hope to God that I'll be able to get it. Not anymore. You just need a couple of these darts and you're good to go. Super useful, and like I said, these all work for the fertilized eggs that you pick up in the wilds: the Magmasaur, the Dionychus, the rock drake, the wyvern, and the crystal wyvern. We also have some specialty stuff, which I think is really cool, and a lot of this, like I said, it's quality of life, so it just makes a lot of these little tasks that may be just a pain in the butt a little bit easier for you. This one's really cool. So this decolorization elixir actually removes all the color from a creature and generates a new set. So basically it re-rolls the chances of the colors that you would get on the creature. So you can just kind of just re-roll it to see if you get different colors, which is kind of neat. It's kind of a nice thing to do if you find like a pretty high level creature that you like, but not necessarily the color. You can play around with something like this. The Mind Wipe Tonic X actually is a Mind Wipe, but it's for other creatures. So it's actually for your tames, not for you. So this one actually reset the stats on your creatures, and that way you can get that. Now, from what I'm reading and understand, this also works when you're talking about the harvest levels of like a Theory or a Masa Chops, where they get the extra bonus levels in harvesting. Those actually reset as well, so you get to redistribute all those. The X converter. So these are a couple different types of converters. We have the X converter, the tech converter, the aberrant converter, and the vanilla converter. So what this does is basically you can take these converters and feed them to another creature, and it'll turn it into that version of the creature. So we got a normal Sarco, right? Vanilla Sarco, and we know Sarcos have X variants, and then they have aberrant versions, right? Yeah, they have aberrant versions. So let's put an aberrant converter on it. We feed it to it. And it is now an aberrant Sarco. So it looks like it goes to the version, but the color doesn't change to like an aberrant version at all, which is, how do I have a Sarco out there? How did you get out? Oh, I left that gate open earlier and you probably just walked right out when I wasn't paying attention. You sneaky gator. Anywho, so it looks like it does change it, but it doesn't immediately make it like an aberrant color scheme, it doesn't look like. Now, the other thing I noticed is that you do have to change it back to vanilla. Okay, so that one did change. So maybe it was aberrant, I just wasn't noticing. Anyway, so we changed it back to a normal color scheme, and then we can actually change it to, like, the X version, which I believe there's an X version of the Sarco, right? Oh, there's not an X version of the Sarco. There's an aberrant. And we also have the tech one as well. But it looks like it does actually change the color, but for whatever reason, aberrant didn't look right to me. Let me try that again. Maybe I'm just blind. That's probably the case. Okay, it is changing. Okay, cool. So it flops back and forth. So that's pretty cool. But the one thing you do want to note from what I've seen is that you need to like, so if you go to an aberrant version of something that also has an X version of something, and you're like, oh, I wanted the X version, change it to vanilla first and then go back to this one. So that way it actually processes through all the right way. Anywho, super useful. And I like the idea of being able to change the variants and the colors regardless of what it is. It means that it just means I need to find stat-wise the right creature that I want, and then I can get the colors that I want some other way, which I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of it. Makes this hunt a lot easier. What else did we have in here? The color extractor. This actually extracts the color from the creature. This actually extracts the colors from the creature, but the problem with this is it actually destroys the creature in the process. So if you have animals off to the side that are mutated with really cool colors that you want to incorporate into your normal breeds, you use this on that, but it will kill the creature off. So rest assured, you are going to lose the creature if you do this, but it definitely helps you hold those color schemes in so that you can transfer them around. But that's fairly it. There's a lot of little things, and like I said, it's definitely a quality of life mod, exactly how it's titled, and it works really smoothly. It's a very small mod, and it stacks pretty well with a lot of other things. If you're playing solo or a small tribe, I think something like this is perfect just to kind of make a lot of those menial tasks a little bit easier for you. As far as crafting requirements go, some of it's a little weird, depending on what you need, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that these things aren't necessarily easy to make off the get-go. I like the fact that it is going to require a little bit of effort. I think oftentimes in Vanilla Arc, there's certain items that you just never touch or really ever use for anything. So I'm really glad that mods like this actually make it so that you're going to want to use those and want to grab those things and use them. So all in all, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And like I said, I'm probably going to keep using it for a little while. I think on the next playthrough server, this is definitely going to be one of the ones on the list because I like the quality of life stuff, the easy stuff that makes the day-to-day arcing a lot easier, and some of the more frustrating things that shouldn't be frustrating, a lot less frustrating. This capper is really down there killing some piranhas, man. I really like this whole gator farm idea. This is proven to be pretty useful with the exception of the Sarco that escaped earlier. With that being said, guys, that is the Quality of Life mod. Feel free to check out the description of the video, and we'll throw a link to their workshop so you can check that out on your own. The mod creator actually does a couple of other things that I thought, a couple of other mods for the game that I thought were really cool too, so definitely check that out. We'll post that in there. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell so you can see when the next videos are coming out, and feel free to follow me here, follow me on Twitter, and check out our Discord. We live stream here on YouTube actually 3 times a week permanently, I think is pretty much what we're looking at here. So Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights at around 8 p.m. Eastern. I try to update Twitter and try to update Discord depending on how life is treating me that particular day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and until next time.